Hey everyone! In this video, I'm going to explain an activity that I did yesterday. One of the most successful activities I've had in a long time. My elementary school scavenger hunt. But before we get started, here's a little joke for you. A woman answered her door and saw a little boy holding a list. "Ma'am," he explained, "I'm on a scavenger hunt, and I still need 3 grains of wheat, a pork chop bone, and a piece of used carbon paper to earn $1. "Wow," the woman replied. "Who sent you on such a challenging hunt?" "My babysitter's boyfriend." As with any scavenger hunt, mine starts with a list. I made a list of 24 things that my students need to do, 24 micro missions. Their mission is to take a picture of a student doing something. I spent a free afternoon last week coming up with this list. These are things that my students could do without having to leave the school grounds. In my community, my students can come and go in and out of the school without much hassle, without much fuss. But what you might want to do is sit down and think about things that students can only do at your school, so there's no motivation for them to even want to leave. This is a photo scavenger hunt, so students must take a picture or a short video clip of everything that they do. So before you decide to do this activity, you might want to take a straw poll and just get a head count of how many students actually have a smartphone that they can use. This way, you could gather up some extra or old phones from teachers around your school. Almost every item on my list is straightforward and can be easily completed by any student. However, some students may not be able to complete some missions. Some missions may require more imaginative thought and creative thinking. You must have a mix of both. You don't want to make things too hard that students can't accomplish anything, and you don't want to make it too easy so that they do it in an instant. Okay, now that you've got some background into the scavenger hunt, here's the mechanics. Here's how it actually works. In class, the first thing you must do is select a team of 3 members. Personally, I think 3 members is the best, because it doesn't have the group rely on one student to complete everything. There's a fair and even distribution of work, and if there's one shy member in the group, the students aren't too badly handicapped. Everybody can kind of participate and take on a role that fits their personality. Each player gets a role, and player 1 is the mission guide. This is the student who should have a clipboard, a pen, and the scavenger hunt paper. That student is the organizer. They're the one who's going to select what mission they do, and then check to make sure that it's done completely. Once it's finished, that's the student who will check the box and tell the others that it's done. Player 2 is the model. They're the actor. They're the student who actually completes the mission. They do what is required to complete the task. And player 3 is the photographer. This is the student who will be carrying the smartphone, taking the pictures and recording the videos. They have a very essential job, because if they don't capture the moment exactly, I don't let it count. So this way, it ensures some accountability to each other and an accountability to the task. Now, students have a scavenger hunt paper, and they all have a role to play. The first step that they want to take is to choose a mission. I encourage my students to figure out an easy mission, a mission that they can accomplish pretty quickly so that they get some momentum built and they get the ball rolling and out of the classroom. Step 2 is to obviously complete the mission. They've got to do the actual task. Step 3 is to take a picture or a short video of that task. And step 4 is to repeat the process until all the missions are accomplished. And here are some examples from my classroom. Take a picture of a student at the library reading a book. At the cafeteria, drinking water. Smelling a flower. going down a slide, swinging on a bar, touching a bug, kicking a soccer ball, in front of a coffee shop, giving a friend a high five, sitting next to a tree, jumping rope, standing on one foot on a rock, holding some money. I was surprised because for my students, this 10,000 won note is quite a lot of money. Next to a car, riding a bicycle, bouncing a basketball, opening a door, putting garbage in a trash can, jumping over a fire hydrant, walking across the crosswalk, throwing a baseball, on a seesaw, at a convenience store, and finally, I saved the best for last, with a menu from a chicken shop. I chose to do this one last because, as a reward for the winning team, I'm going to order chicken off of this menu. Great idea, isn't it? And in closing, I want to offer you a few teacher tips that I learned the hard way during the course of this scavenger hunt. My English club meets after school, so I have some students who have to leave right on time. Yesterday, we had teams who finished a little bit early, right on time, and a little bit late. So that made a little bit of conflict amongst the team members about who could leave and when. I recommend that you set up a timer that lets all the students get back 5 minutes before class ends. Surprisingly, not everybody wants to be the actor. Not everybody wants to be the model who is demonstrating the mission. I was kind of shocked when I found that a lot of students didn't want to be on camera and didn't want to have their picture taken. So I recommend that before you let students go on the scavenger hunt, they negotiate with one another on who is going to do which mission. This way, everybody has an equal share. And finally, let's end on a fortunate note. We had this task completed with 0 safety incidents. Nobody fell down, nobody scraped their knee, nobody got a paper cut. We had a 100% safety success rate. However, I could see the students getting a little bit loose with their school behavior. They were running in the hallways, going up and down the stairs too fast, and getting a little bit rowdy. So I recommend that you just go over the safety rules with your students right before they leave. Make sure that they understand you'll be deducting points if you catch anybody running, if you catch anybody screaming, if you catch anybody pushing or shoving, or just acting in a way that is inappropriate for a school activity. With all that being said, this scavenger hunt was a huge success. All of my students worked together. They used English to negotiate the meaning of the missions and to complete the tasks, as well as to interact with me and to get help from other teachers. This was an A+ activity that I can't recommend highly enough. Give it a try and let me know how it goes.